Let me guess why you clicked. You think an MBA is the golden ticket to six-figure business job. But here's the problem. Most people don't get high-paying roles because of an MBA. They get them because of what the MBA signals. I've broken down hundreds of real career paths across consulting, finance, and strategy. But in this video, I'll show you 3 paths when an MBA actually makes sense, how people skip it entirely, and the hidden third option nobody talks about. But before we talk about MBAs, let's be precise about the goal. When most people say high-paying business job, they don't just mean a big number on a contract. They mean roles like strategy consulting, investment banking, corporate strategy, product, or leadership track roles in large companies. These are jobs that don't just pay well once, they compound over time. A 6-figure salary is not their real price here. The real price is the trajectory. Access to better platforms, bigger decisions, more leverage, and this is where the MBA story comes in. For decades, the MBA was the cleanest shortcut into these tracks. Top firms hire directly from top schools. So if you believe an MBA is the safest way in, that belief didn't come out of nowhere. But here is the problem. That shortcut comes with a cost. Time, money, and the opportunity. And once you factor those in, the real question changes. It's no longer, is an MBA good? It becomes, is an MBA the smartest use of leverage right now? And to answer that, honestly, we have to talk about the part most people avoid. The MBA didn't become prestigious by accident. For decades, it was the cleanest filter companies have. Smart, ambitious, trainable talent. Consulting firms, banks, strategy teams all relied on those MBA programs. They built pipeline straight out of top MBA programs. So if you believe MBA equals access, you're not stupid. That belief was true for a very long time. But the world changed faster than the myth did. Let's talk about the part that rarely makes into MBA brochures. When people think about the cost of an MBA, they usually think about tuition. That's the smallest part, right? The real cost, though, includes 1 to 2 years of lost income, missed promotions, and a stepping out of momentum. And this is the part most people underestimate: opportunity cost. Those years don't just pause your career, they pause compounding. Now, people may say, but post-MBA salaries are high. That's true, but high salary doesn't automatically mean high ROI. A $200,000 salary sounds incredible, yeah, until you divide it by 70 hours a week, constant travel, and the tax bill. What really matters isn't the headline number. It's the net return on your time, energy, and optionality. How much leverage do you gain per year? And how fragile is the past if things don't go as planned? So at this point, the question changes. It's no longer, can an MBA get me a high-paying job? It becomes, is this the lowest risk way to get there? And once you ask that question honestly, 3 distinct paths starts to appear. And let's start with the most obvious one. This is the classic route. MBA first, then the job. When the paths work, it works because the MBA acts as an accelerator. It compresses recruiting cycle, it gives you structured access to elite employers, and it bundles the skills, signaling, and networking into one package. And this path only works under very specific conditions. Condition 1, you already know the exact role you want after graduation. Condition 2, you know the industry, the firm, and the recruiting pipeline. Condition 3, The MBA is the shortest path between where you are and where you want to be. If any of those are missing, this path stops being acceleration and it starts becoming an extremely expensive pause button. And there is one more thing people ignore here. These roles often come with a lifestyle. Long hours, constant pressure, sometimes 70, 80 hours a week. So the real question isn't just, can I get this job? It's, do I want the life that comes with it right now? For some people, the answer is yes. And for them, path one can make total sense. But if you're missing clarity or you want more control over risk, then there is a second path most people underestimate. It doesn't look impressive at first. There is no big brand moment, no admission letter, no reset button. But instead of betting everything on one credential, you break the problem down. You build signals, one layer at a time. Signals that hiring managers actually respond to. Signals that say this person can actually do the job already. There are three categories of signals that matter most. First, targeted experience. Not any job, the right job, close to the role you want next. Second, industry-specific skills. The skills people in that role actually use every day. And third, visible impact. Proof you have solved real problems. Not potential, not certificates, but actual results. At one point, I was fully committed to doing an MBA. I bought the GMAT books. Let me show you. Wow, these are heavy. Yeah, I didn't open them. Yeah, they are all intact. Well, still, the prep sheet, still intact. I haven't literally opened it. So, I didn't open them. Instead, I chose to stack signals. That's what I call it. Now, this part matters. This is not fast. You don't go from 0 to a 6-figure role in 12 months. What you do instead is spreading the risk. You move closer every year. You get paid while you learn, and it might take 3, 4, sometimes even 5 years. But every step compounds. This path doesn't promise speed. It promises return on investment, ROI. You're not stepping out of the market. You're not hoping one decision works. And if plans change, you still have momentum. That's exactly how I did it. I didn't jump straight into top consulting firms. I stacked the steps or signals. And that path took me into strategy consulting, Deloitte, Roland Berger, and now a pan-Nordic consulting firm. I landed a 6-figure role without an MBA and not even living in the US. The job wasn't a leap, it was the result. But here is the important nuance. I didn't reject the MBA. I postponed it on purpose because once you have leverage, the MBA changes completely. Before we move to the third path, let me pause for a second. What I just walked you through isn't a motivational story. It's a system, a way to break a high-paying role into smaller, low-risk steps. So you're not gambling everything on one decision, only one decision. This is exactly the framework I teach inside my job search acceleration program. If you want to see how this works step by step, I'm running an upcoming free masterclass where I break down the entire framework. I'll walk you through how I did it, how I moved into consulting, and how you can adapt the same strategy to your background. You need to sign up to get access when it goes live, link down below. All right, now let's talk about the third path. And it's the one almost nobody talks about. You don't use an MBA to become valuable here. You use it once you already are. Because at that point, MBA stops being a signal and it starts becoming what I call a multiplier. When you already have industry credibility after several years, when you already have proof and you're already hard to replace, the MBA plays a completely different role. Now the company pays, now it's part-time or executive, and now there is no career pause. This isn't the safest path. It's the highest leverage one. It says, I didn't need the degree to get here, and now I'm adding to it to expand my ceiling. This is how I think about it for myself. I'm not anti-MBA at all in any sense. I'm also not rushing into one. Personally, I'm watching the timing. The idea of stepping out of execution for a period, it sounds appealing to me. Learning different things in a different way, expanding my network, but only if the math is clear. I don't want the MBA to be a cost. I want it to compound. The worst reason to get an MBA is fear. And the best one, in my humble view, is leverage. And once you see it this way, the question stops being, should I get an MBA? And becomes, when does it actually make sense? So here is the mental framework I use to decide, not just for MBA, but for any big career bet. First rule, separate the job from the life that comes with it. A lot of people say they want the role, but they haven't thought about the lifestyle. So if the question is this, do I know the exact role I want next? And do I know what it actually costs at my age? And does that role mean 70 or 80 or 90 hours a week? Does it mean constant pressure from peers, clients? Does it mean putting other things in my life on hold for a few years? And if the answer is yes, do I genuinely want that life, or do I just want the title? Second question, am I buying clarity or acceleration? Let me explain here. If you don't know the role, the industry, or the trade-offs, an MBA, in my view, can feel like clarity. But if you already know where you're going, the MBA isn't clarity. It's a turbo button. Third question, would an MBA multiply what I've already built, or would it compensate for what I haven't? If it multiplies skills, credibility, and leverage, perfect. But if it's there to fix uncertainty, to buy confidence, to delay hard decisions, that's not leverage. That's avoidance. When you answer those three questions, honestly, your path becomes obvious. There is no universally right choice here. There is only the right time. And if you haven't yet signed up for my upcoming free masterclass, check the link below. And if you want to know how I exactly did this, watch this video. I share with you how I landed my job without a network and without any MBA program.